Hello students, in today's lecture we are going to solve JEE previous year questions on systems of particles and rotational motion. This is disclaimer. Learning objective. By the end of this lecture you will able to solve questions on systems of particles and rotational motion by applying concepts of center of mass, angular momentum, torque and moment of inertia using proper reasoning and calculations. Question is, from a solid sphere of mass m and radius r, a cube of maximum possible volume is cut. Moment of inertia of cube about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to one of its faces is what? So in this question you have to find out the moment of inertia. The given options, option A is 4mr square divided by 9 root 3 pi. Option B 4mr square divided by 3 root 3 pi. And option C mr square divided by 32 root 2 pi. And option D mr square divided by 16 root 2 pi. Alright. So which options is correct? You have some time to solve this question. Please solve. Let's see the solution of this question. So here we have to find out the moment of inertia of cube about an axis that is passing through its center and perpendicular to one of its faces. Alright. So consider a solid sphere as shown in the figure of density rho, from which a cube of maximum possible volume with side A is cut. So look at here, we have a solid sphere and we also have a cube, and the volume of the cube, side of the cube is A. Now this cube is maximum possible volume cube inside the solid sphere. So the density of the solid sphere is mass upon volume, and diameter of the sphere d is equal to 2r. Alright. So the diagonal of the cube is a root 3. A root 3. Alright. Now solid sphere from which a cube of maximum possible volume is cut. So for this cube having maximum volume, its diagonal should be equal to diameter of the sphere. It means for the maximum possible volume, here the diagonal of the cube is equal to this one. Diagonal of the cube is equal to diameter of solid sphere. So we can write d is equal to a root 3. So d is the 2r and this is equal to a root 3. So a will be 2 divided by root 3 into r. So solid sphere from which a cube maximum possible volume is cut. So mass of this sphere is volume into density, or we know the volume of the sphere, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube into rho. Yes or no? So mass of the cube is also volume into density. So we know volume is cube of side and side is a, so it will be a cube into density, and that is equal to mass of the cube. So just put the value. So mass of the cube is equal to, side is 2 divided by root 3 into r whole cube into density, because we know a equal to what, that is 2r divided by root 3. Yes or no? So ratio of mass of sphere to mass of cube m prime, this one. So mass of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube rho, and mass of cube is 2 by root 3 into r whole cube into density. Alright. So solving this, m divided by m prime is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube rho, and it will be, after cubing, it will be the cube of 2 is 8, and it will be 3 times root 3 r cube rho. So solving this one is 4 by 3, and the other r cube rho is cancel out. The remaining terms is this one, root 3 divided by 2 pi. Alright. So the mass of the cube is 2m into 2m divided by root 3 by pi in terms of mass of the solid. So moment of inertia of cube about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to one of its faces, and that is I equal to m prime a square divided by 6. This is the moment of inertia of cube. Now we know the value of a, so just put here. So it will be 2m divided by root 3 pi into 4r square divided by 3 into 1 by 6. Or we also know the value of m prime, so just put here, and you will be get I equal to 4m r square divided by 9 root 3 pi. Four-point masses, each of mass m, are fixed at the corners of square of side L. The square is rotating with angular frequency omega about an axis passing through one of the corners of the square and parallel to its diagonal, as shown in the figure. Look at here. The each mass are fixed at the corners here. The angular momentum of the square about this axis is what? So here you have to find out the angular momentum about this axis. Alright. Given options, option A is m square omega, option B 4m square omega, option C 3ml square omega, and option D 2ml square omega. So which option is correct? Please solve this question. You have some time. Let's see the solution of this question. So the given values are 4 masses of M, each at corners of a square. M, 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 M are fixed at the corners of the square, and the length is L. So side length of the square is L, and angular velocity is omega. Rotation axis passing through one corners parallel to diagonal. So look at here, the axis of rotation is this one first, that is passing from first mass, and the diagonal this one. So both are parallel. All right. Now moment of inertia of 4 points masses is given by I equal to summation I equal to 1 to 4 mi ri square, where ri is the perpendicular distance of mass mi from the axis of rotation. All right. Here axis of rotation is this one. Now consider corner first, and the origin is 0, 0. So mass at origin, corner first, is at a perpendicular distance. So r equal to 0 from origin, yes or no? So its contribution to moment of inertia is I1 equal to 0, because R1 equal to 0. Similarly, mass at corners 3 at a perpendicular distance root 2 L from origin. From the origin, the distance is root 2 L, and its contribution of moment of inertia is I3 equal to mass into R square, that is root 2 L square. All right. So here we calculate I1 and I3. So I3 equal to 2m L square. All right. Now mass at corner 4 is at a perpendicular distance of half of its diagonal length root 2 L divided by 2 from origin. So this one. The distance is from axis of rotation, the perpendicular distance is root 2 L divided by 2, and its contribution to moment of inertia, that is I4 equal to m into r square, that is root 2 L divided by 2 whole square. All right. So solving this, you will be get I4 equal to ml square divided by 2. Clear? Now similarly, mass at corner 2, this one, is at a perpendicular distance of half of diagonal length root 2 L by 2 from origin. So its contribution to moment of inertia is I2 equal to ml square by 2. All right. So now total moment of inertia of 4 masses, that is I1, I2, I3 and I4. So when we adding this, so it will be I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus I4. So we know I1 0, I2 ml square by 2 plus I3 is 2 ml square plus I4 ml square by 2. So I equal to 2 ml square plus ml square. Ml square plus ml half ml square. Half ml square is ml square and 2 ml square. So adding this, you will be get 3 ml square. All right. Now we know angular momentum is given by L equal to I omega, where I is the total moment of inertia about the rotation axis and omega is the angular velocity of each mass. So we know the value of I, so just put here, that is 3 ml square. So the angular momentum, it will be 3 ml square omega. Therefore, the angular momentum of the square about this axis is 3 ml square omega. Alright. Moment of inertia of four bodies having same mass and radius are reported as I1 equal to moment of inertia of thin circular ring about its diameter. I2 is equal to moment of inertia of circular disc about an axis perpendicular to the disc and going through the center. I3 is equal to moment of inertia of solid cylinder about its axis, and I4 is equal to moment of inertia of solid sphere about its diameter. Then which option is correct? Given options, option A is I1 plus I3 is less than I2 plus I4. Given options, A is I1 plus I3 is less than I2 plus I4. Option B, I1 plus I2 is equal to I3 plus 5/2 into I4. Option C, I1 equal to I2 equal to I3 greater than I4. And option D, I1 equal to I2 equal to I3 less than I4. Alright, so which option is correct? Please solve this question. You have some time. Let's see the solution of this question. So, first step to solve this question is calculate the moment of inertia for each body. Alright. So, moment of inertia of a thin circular ring about its diameter is 1/2 mr square. We have a ring and the axis of rotation is this one. Okay. Now, moment of inertia of a circular disc about an axis perpendicular to the disc, this one, perpendicular to the disc through the center. I2 equal to 1/2 mr square. Alright. So, moment of inertia of a solid cylinder about its axis is I3 equal to 1/2 mr square. So, we have a solid cylinder and this one is horizontal line. This is the axis of rotation. Now, moment of inertia of a solid sphere about its diameter is I4 equal to 2/5 mr square. So, this is the solid sphere and axis of rotation is about its diameter. Alright. So, now our second step is compare the values of the moment of inertia. So, I1 equal to 1/2 mr square. So, it will be 0.5 mr square. I2 equal to 1/2 mr square. So, solving this you will get 0.5 mr square. I3 equal to 1/2 mr square is equal to 0.5 mr square. And I4 equal to 2/5 mr square is equal to 0.4 mr square. Alright. So, this is the comparison between the moment of inertia. Now, from the calculations, it is clear that I1 equal to I2 equal to I3 equal to 0.5 square, but I4 equal to 0.4 mR square. Therefore, I1 equal to I2 equal to I3 and it is greater than I4. Two bodies of mass 1 kg and 3 kg have position vectors I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap and minus 3I cap minus 2j cap plus k cap respectively. The magnitude of the position vector of center of mass of this system will be similar to the magnitude of the vector. Given options. Option is I cap minus 2j cap plus k cap. Option B minus 3I cap minus 2j cap plus k cap. Option C minus 2I cap plus 2k cap. And option D minus 2I cap minus j cap plus k cap. So which option is correct? Please solve this question. You have some time. Let's see the solution of this question. So, given mass of the body m1 equal to 1 kg and position vector of the first body, that is r1 equal to I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap, mass of the second body m2 equal to 3 kg and position vector of the second body r2 equal to minus 3I cap plus minus 2j cap plus k cap. So we know the position vector of the center of mass is given by r equal to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 divided by m1 plus m2. So this is the formula to calculate the center of mass of the given body. So next step to solve this question is substitute the values of m1, m2, r1 and r2 into the formula. So just put the values in the formula of the center of mass. So that is I1 into I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap plus 3 into minus 3k cap minus 3I cap minus 2j cap plus k cap divided by 1 plus 3. Alright. Now we will solving this term. So solving for the position vector of the center of mass. So it will be I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap minus 3I cap minus 6j cap plus 3k cap divided by 4. So R position vector of the center of mass is minus 8I cap plus 4j cap plus 4k cap and divided by 4. So solving this further for position vector of the center of mass. So it will be R is equal to minus 2I cap minus j cap plus k cap. Alright. An object of mass 8 kg is hanging from one end of a uniform rod CD. So CD is a uniform rod of mass 2 kg and length 1 meter. Pivoted at its end C on a vertical wall as shown in the figure. This is the wall. It is supported by a cable AB. This is the cable such that the system is in equilibrium. Alright. The tension in the cable is what? So here you have to find out the tension in the cable AB. What is the tension in the cable AB? Alright. The given options, option A is 240 Newton, option B 90 Newton, option C 300 Newton and option D 30 Newton. So which option is correct? Please solve this question. You have some time. Let's see the solution of this question. So, according to question, the given terms is here CD is a uniform rod and mass 2 kg and length 1 meter. Alright. So it is pivoted at its end C on a vertical wall. This one. This is the vertical wall. And here we have to find out the tension T. So the weight of the 8 kg mass W1 is equal to 8 into 10, that is equal to 80 Newton, and that is acting at D here. Weight W1 at D. Alright, this one. And weight of rod W2, this one, is equal to 2 into 10 is equal to 20 Newton acting at the end of rod. This one, W2. So tension in cable AB is T. Alright. Now, here, for equilibrium, sum of moments about C should be 0. So let us calculate torque first. So it will be R cross F. Yes or no? Now tau 1 equal to CD into W1. CD is R and W1 is the weight. So minus 80 Newton into 1 is equal to minus 80 Newton meter, where negative sign is because anti-clockwise moments are taken as negative. Alright. Now moments due to rod's weight about C is tau 2. So it will be CE into W2. So it will be minus 20 Newton into 0.5 meter. So solving this, you will be get minus 10 Newton meter. Here negative sign shows because anti-clockwise moments are taken as negative. Alright. So moment due to perpendicular component of tension T sine theta. So there are two components of T. First T cos theta and second T sine theta. So tau 3 equal to T sine theta into 60 centimeter. Here this one. So solving this you will be get T sine theta into 0.6 meter when we convert centimeter to meter. So moment due to parallel component of tension T cos theta in cable about C is 0 as it is along the line of action. Alright. Now therefore at equilibrium sum of moments about C should be 0. So tau 1 plus tau 2 plus tau 3 equal to 0. So just put the values T into sine 30 degree into 0.6 minus 80 into 1 minus 20 into 0.5 equal to 0. So it will be T into 0.3 minus 80 minus 10 equal to 0. So further solving this you will be get T, that is 90 divided by 0.3. So 90 divided by 3 into 10. So T equal to 300 Newton. Therefore the tension in the cable is 300 Newton. Alright. 4 particles each of mass 1 kg are placed at the 4 corners of a square of side 2 meter. Moment of inertia of system about an axis perpendicular to its plane and passing through one of its vertex is what? Given options, option is 16, option B 2, option C 1.25 and option D 2.5. So which option is correct? You have some time, please solve this question. Let's see the solution of this question. So consider the vertex where the axis passing through the origin, that is M1 at origin. So 0 0. So particle first at origin 0 0. So R1 equal to 0 meter. Yes or no? And particle 2 at here 2 0 M2. So R2 is 2 meter. Particle 3 at 2 2. This one 2 2. So R3 equal to root 8 meter. Alright. And particle 4, this one. The distance is 2 meter vertically. From M1 to M2 distance is 2 meter. M1 to M4 distance is 2 meter. And M1 to M3 is root 8 meter. Alright. So here moment of inertia about an axis perpendicular to the plane. The formula is I equal to summation I equal to 1 to 4 MIR square MIRI square, where I is the distance of MI from the axis. So moment of inertia of 4 particles each of mass 1 kg placed at 4 corners of the square. So I equal to M1 R1 square plus M2 R2 square plus M3 R3 square plus M4 R4 square. Alright. Now we will put the M1 values of these terms in this equation. So just put M1 1 R1 0 square plus M2 1 and R2 is 2 and squaring 2 square of 2 plus m3 1 and r3 root 8 square plus m4 1 and r4 2 square. Alright, now we will solving this term. So when we solving, we will get I. So I equal to 0 plus 4 plus 8 plus 4. So it will be I equal to 16 kg meter square. Alright, and this is the unit. We know the moment of inertia I equal to mr square. M is the mass and r is the distance. So here m, for m that is kg, and for r square, for r is meter, and for r square meter square. So kg meter square. Alright, so this is the moment of inertia. Therefore the moment of inertia is 16 kg meter square. A stationary horizontal disc is free to rotate about its axis. When a torque is applied on it, its kinetic energy as a function of theta, where theta is the angle by which it has rotated, is given as k theta square. If its moment of inertia is I, then the angular acceleration of the disc is what? So in this question you have to find out the angular acceleration of the disc. The given options, option A is k theta divided by 4i, option B k theta divided by I, option C k theta divided by 2i, and option D 2k theta divided by I. So which option is correct? Let's see the solution of this question. So we know kinetic energy of formula for a rotating body, that is half I omega square, where I is the moment of inertia and omega is angular velocity. Given kinetic energy k is k theta square, where k is a constant. Alright, so equating both expressions, half I omega square and k theta square. So when we equate and differentiating both sides, you will get d differentiation of half I omega square is equal to differentiation of k theta square. So applying chain rule here, you will be get 1 by 2 I 2 omega d omega by dt is equal to k into 2 theta d theta by dt. Alright, applying chain rule and differentiate it, you will be get this term. So simplifies to it will be I omega d omega by dt is equal to 2 k theta divided by d theta by dt. So but d theta upon dt is equal to omega, therefore I omega d omega by dt is equal to 2k theta by 2k theta omega. So I into d omega by dt equal to 2k theta. So solving this, you will be get a new term. So but we know d omega by dt alpha. So therefore I alpha is equal to 2k theta. Alpha is equal to 2k theta by I. Alright, so this is the angular acceleration of the disk. Therefore the angular acceleration of the disk is alpha equal to 2k theta by I. Alright. A particle is moving with a uniform speed in a circular orbit of radius r in a central force inversely proportional to nth power of r. If the period of rotation of the particle is t, then Which option is correct? Option is t is directly proportional to r raised to the power 3 by 2 for any n. Option B, t is directly proportional to r raised to the power n by 2 plus 1. Option C, t is directly proportional to r raised to the power n plus 1 divided by 2. And option D, t is directly proportional to r raised to the power n by 2. So which option is correct? Please solve this question, you have some time. Let's see the solution of this question. So centripetal force required to keep a particle moving in a circular path, that is mv square by r, and that is acting towards the center. All right, where m is the mass of the particle and v is its speed and r is the radius of the circular path. So central force F is inversely proportional to r raised to the power n. So it will be F is equal to k divided by r raised to the power n, where k is the constant of proportionality. All right. So since centripetal force is provided by the central force, so it will be mv square by r equal to k divided by r raised to the power n. So mv square equal to k divided by r raised to the power n minus 1. So solving this, you will be get v square equal to k by m into 1 divided by r raised to the power n minus 1. So taking square root, you will be get v is equal to under root k by m into 1 divided by r raised to the power n minus 1 divided by 2. Alright. So the period of one complete revolution is 2 pi r divided by v. So just put the value, you will be get t equal to this one. So simplify the expression, t equal to 2 pi r into r raised to the power n minus 1 divided by 2 into under root m by k. Alright. So solving for time period, t equal to 2 pi into r raised to the power n plus 1 divided by 2 into under root m by k. So the time period t of the rotation of the particle is t is directly proportional to r raised to the power n plus 1 divided by 2. Alright. Thank you for your attention.